Good evening. I call this special Dunwoody City Council called meeting to order at 6 p.m. on June 28th, unless there's an objection. Seeing none, the meeting is called to order. Councilman Seconder, may you lead us in the invocation and the pledge, please?
At this meeting, help us to make decisions which keep us faithful to our mission and reflect our values. Give us strength to hold to our purpose, wisdom to guide us, and a keen perception to lead us. And above all, keep us charitable as we deliberate. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment. Ginger, I think it's Ginger. Can you check to see if anyone has public comment online, please?
If you'd like to speak in public comment, please raise your hand in the Zoom app. I see no hands raised at this time.
Okay. Is there anyone, does someone, I haven't gotten the card. Sorry. That's fine. Come on up to the microphone. This microphone. And you will have 3 minutes. If you'll just introduce yourself, please.
I apologize. The microphone's muted.
Oh, can we unmax? And your time will, Ginger, you'll start his time over, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. I acknowledge that there are strongly differing opinions on landscape maintenance within our community. As well, one can easily observe that the Augusta national aesthetic maintains its hold on popular opinion. The primary argument for this common practice is that it maintains property values, the denominator of this value being that of the American dollar. While one cannot reasonably contend that this standard will be changing anytime soon, a fair argument can be made that it's an unfortunately one-dimensional valuation of the land that has been entrusted to us during our time under the sun. To me, there's value in the hedges that I let grow in the summer until the birds that nest within have migrated south for the winter. There's value in the chorus of the crickets that sing and the fireflies that twinkle in the night because they haven't all been sacrificed to the unchallenged ceremony of mowing. Value in the amanita, chanterelle, and reishi mushrooms that live in tandem with the few remaining old-growth hardwood trees. Value in the deer that regularly bed in the welcoming habitat and feed upon those mushrooms and the flora. I find value in the wild blackberry hedges that I cultivate and the countless pollinators that use them as their first spring meal. I find beauty in the way the wind moves across the mix of clover and tall fescue that I let reseed. It's encouraging to see that people are planting pollinator gardens. But this is not going to solve the problem of the mass extinctions that are on the horizon if we continue to embrace the status quo. A few beds of wildflowers are not going to make up for the millions of acres of clover, wildflower, and trees that once fed the wildlife of this habitat. What can we reasonably classify as a weed? Is it the Alscepias at one point? Now we struggle to reestablish this plant, commonly known as milkweed, to help save the dwindling monarch populations. We cut down and haul off organic matter to a composting facility that returns compost full of this. Not to mention the colossal effort and expenditure of fossil resources required to accomplish what a domestic compost system would better achieve. Then we apply fertilizers to that same land to try and reintroduce what has been hauled away. That washes into the streams and into the rivers while we scratch our heads and wonder why massive algae blooms are killing wildlife that lives within our waters. One could prattle on ad nauseum about similar situations, but I feel that the preceding statements are an adequate microcosm. The fact of the matter is that as a municipality, we need to make a choice. I received 2 pieces of mail from the city on June 19th, 2019. One was a publication touting our new status as a bee city, which in short describes my yard. The other was this citation from the city, citing IPMC section 302.
20 seconds remaining.
This is about as abject of a dissonance between statement and action as I can think of. It's a disappointing sign of our times that fashionable statements can be an acceptable substitute for legitimate action. I'm a musician, and despite my efforts to study the natural world and understand how landscaping practices can be modified to better accommodate all life, I understand the limitations of my education. My yard does not look like a golf course, and many would maintain that it's ugly. I contend
that's fair.
otherwise. May I have one more minute? I'm almost in.
That's fine.
Okay. My yard does not look like a golf course, and many would maintain that it's ugly. I contend otherwise. It's not a matter of laziness on my behalf. I manually cut back my yard with a sling blade so as to leave the clover and dandelions that pollinating insects feed on. What we're fundamentally arguing over is aesthetics, because I deeply believe that most people do want to pass on a more healthy world to their progeny. So no, pollinator gardens will not fix the problem, but neither will my one yard, and neither will fighting over it. Perhaps as a community, we can seek to better merge forward-minded horticultural practices with a more diligent eye towards style than my neighbors feel my yard exudes. The question is, how do we lead? Or do we continue to embrace the platitudes that lesser communities would use for good press?
Thank you. Thank you.
I forgot my trash.
I think that concludes public comment because there's nobody else here. The next step is a public hearing. Sharon, I believe you have to read.
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Mayor and Council of the City of Dunwoody, Georgia, to fix the ad valorem tax rate of the City of Dunwoody for fiscal year 2021 and for other purposes.
This is the third and final public hearing about fixing the 2021 ad valorem tax rate. And while it is a tax increase, most homeowners will see no increase because of the freeze of the exemption. We ask that you move forward with a millage rate of 2.74.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing unless I see objections. Seeing none, the hearing is open. Any comments? Ginger, can you check if anybody is for the millage rate, please?
If you would like to speak in favor, please raise your hand in the Zoom app. I see no hands raised at this time.
Okay, and I don't see anyone here. Ginger, can you check to see if there's anyone who'd like to speak opposed?
If you'd like to speak opposed, please raise your hand in the Zoom app. I see no hands raised at this time.
Okay, I don't see any hands raised here. So I will close the public hearing unless there's objection. Public hearing is closed. Next, we'll have questions and comments from council. Joe.
Right. For those of you this morning, this is going to be another hash, but Linda, I might want to ask you a rhetorical question as well, but I want folks that are residents of the city and you've lived here for a few years, find your first property tax statement, the first year you moved here, first full year, and go out
2009.
from 2009 forward, okay? And I moved here in 2008. And if you look at the city taxes, look at the amount, the net amount. Don't look at your total, look at the net amount. Mine is $269 from 2009, right? Now, everybody's assessed value, and you see your assessments go up and whatever, and you see the totals change, of course, because you got to have other pieces. And then I've got this last one from 2021. It is $269. It's the same. So I want to make sure that people understand if you've lived here from 2009 forward and have a homestead exemption, right, that you are net, not a single dime, not a penny more. Now, I've saw a penny rounding as a 1 year was one up a penny, 1 year down a penny. Okay, there was a penny rounding. All right, so not a nickel more. So think about that. You're not paying more. We have a freeze. Do you understand that we have a freeze if you've lived here from at least 2009 on forward, that you're not going to pay another dime. You haven't paid another dime for city, what you're getting. And
you're not school, but everything. You're city,
right. Here we're focusing on what we're working on
Right.
here. So, think about it. My HOA has a swim and tennis. How we maintain it for our pool, was it cheaper 10 years ago? It's the same thing. You got things you have to maintain. operation maintenance, and also we may have to, fix things. So I just want to say, you're getting a great bang for the buck here of what we're delivering for the services with that freeze. Thank you.
Jim? Oh, okay. Tom?
Yeah, I'll just kind of tag on to what Joe's talking about. I found it interesting when I was looking at my tax bill this year, which helps, I think, put it in perspective. Look at how much you're paying on an annual basis, what your assessment is for your sanitation fees. On my tax bill, I pay less in city taxes than I do for sanitation. So for once a week trash delivery, for less than the cost of once a week trash delivery, I'm sorry, removal, please do not deliver the trash to my house. For less than the cost of our sanitation fee, we're getting police, parks, paving, and all the other services the city provides on a daily basis. So, and again, that is in no way a knock on the sanitation department. I'm generally very happy with the service they provide, but again, just puts into perspective what the city is providing and what I feel to be a bargain.
We need a motion.
I
Move to
believe,
approve.
John, go ahead. Do you have something?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Moved by John, second by Jim. And I'll encourage everyone to do the exercise that we spoke up here, but also there are instructions on the DeKalb County Tax Assessor's Office if you haven't filed for a freeze or a homestead exemption if you're eligible, and all that. And of course, your freeze is related to when you purchased your home. And then also if you pull building permits, there's some impact there. So, but just know that there's a process by which if you haven't done it. So, okay. Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, signify by raising your hand so I can see Pam and John. All right, Sharon, that's unanimous. Thank you. All right, we have the consent agenda next. Does anybody have questions or comments on either of these two items?
Move to approve.
Moved by Stacy, second by Jim. Any further discussion or comments? All right, I don't see anybody's hands on Zoom. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Any opposed? Sharon, that passes unanimously. That's it, I think.
Pam, what's going on Monday?
Oh, right. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Sorry, I skipped. So actually additional public comments. Ginger, can you check, please?
If you'd like to speak in public comment, please raise your hand in the Zoom app. I see no hands raised at this time.
Okay. There's no one here to make a public comment. And so council comments. We'll lead with Pam.
Okay, there is a parade on Monday, kicks off at 9 a.m. on the corner of Jet Ferry, Mount Vernon, travels about 2.5 miles west, takes a right on Parkway. And this year, we're back to the way we used to do it several years back. It goes all around the Parkway and turns onto the street in between the First Watch and Starbucks. And the festival is dead straight on the side of Walgreens. So looking forward to seeing Dunwoody show up on Monday the 5th. It's going to be a great parade because we're sad last year when we didn't get to have one.
Okay. And we're very sad we didn't get to have one. We're very excited. Anybody else have comments?
Just that on the 4th of July at the Brookline Amphitheater, Callanwald will be performing their 4th of July concert, and it's free and open to the public. And I would highly recommend you guys put that on your calendar.
Yes. It's at 5 o'clock, by the way. And go ahead, Joe. Joe, if you haven't gotten this in your mail, the Dunwoody Digest, you should receive it soon. So hopefully you've all received it. Anybody else? The calendar. Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Now we can adjourn. Thank you, Jim. Moved by Jim, second by Tom. All in favor? Signify by saying, that was a big thing. Signify by saying yes. Aye. Any opposed? Nope, we're adjourned. Thank you.